In today's video, I'm going to show you how to organize any space in your home. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to take any space and create beautiful organization. So before you start organizing, you have to declutter. So decluttering is something you've already done. You've already got rid of things you know that you can get rid of, and now it's time to organize the space. So maybe it's a closet, maybe it's a drawer, maybe it's just stuff that doesn't have a home yet. The first thing you want to do is do a quick macro sort. So take everything out, if it is a drawer or a closet, and sort it into sort of big categories. We're not overthinking here. We're like tape, ribbon. Oh, I have a lot of ribbon. Now this is already pretty organized. You may have a spot that hasn't been organized at all, and that's okay. We're just making big categories for right now. The next step is going through and getting rid of anything that is obvious that you don't want to keep in this space. So I'm like, no, this doesn't belong. I don't need this. I don't need this ribbon. Just really fast purge of the area. Okay, that's pretty good. So the next step is assigning a home for this. So this is craft supplies, so it's gonna go here in the craft area, but I only have one drawer that I emptied. This is going to be really obvious if you've just emptied a drawer that things are going back in this drawer, but you may be starting from a place where it doesn't have a dedicated home yet. So this is the step that you do. You pick a space where this category of stuff is going to go. This is also when you ask yourself, is there any of this stuff anywhere else in the house? So do I have ribbon or tape or glue stored somewhere else? Run and gather that so that all your category is together so you can start organizing. So you've assigned a home, and now comes the next part where everybody really gets hung up. Containers are the step that confuse everyone. It's overwhelming. You're like, what size container do I get? And what do I use? And do I sort in a lot of piles first? And then what you end up with is a mess that you've made, and you're frozen and you don't know what to do next. So here is something that I do that just helps this go smoothly. It isn't perfect. It is important to know your organizing style before you get some sorting containers, and that's what these are. I get containers ahead of time. I call them my sorting bins, and I generally get large, medium, and small, always in white, and I always have a few on hand for doing projects just like this. This doesn't mean that these are the forever bins. It means I have something that I can sort into now so that I know what type, what size of container will be perfect later. If you're a micro organizer, you probably want to get maybe smaller ones or ones with lids that can stack as your sorting bins. If you're a macro organizer like me, you probably want larger ones with no lids. But if you're confused and you don't know, you can never go wrong with big open bins like this to start. Again, you can always go back and micro organize it later. So grab some bins and then decide what fits in this space. And so we're organizing for the space, not our stuff. Yes, we see all this here. We're going to pretend that isn't even here right now. We're going to see how the bins fit in the space. I could put 2 large and 3 medium bins that fit nicely into this drawer. So I've given myself 5 categories for these things to now be sorted into based on my space. So if you have a closet, maybe it's your bathroom closet, or anything like that, it's really overwhelming to try to first organize the stuff and then make it fit to your space. It's easier to decide what fits in your space container-wise and then get your stuff to fit your space. You know what I'm saying? You're giving yourself a limit. You're organizing for the space that you have today, and it really makes this next step super fast, which is putting things in the containers. So right off the bat, I have 2 large containers. So you're looking at this and saying, okay, what do I have the most of? And I have the most is ribbon. Now you want to shop your stuff. So you want to pick the things that you love the most first. I use this stuff most often, so it's going to go in my ribbon bin right off the bat. Then I'm going to pick the other ribbon that I really like, because when this is full, it's full. Anything that's left over, I don't get to keep. I know, it's not fair, but we have to organize for the space that we have today. I'm going to dedicate this little one for glue. And is this all the glue I have? No. Haha, I didn't gather. I didn't do the other step, but that's okay. I'm doing it now. So I have all the glue, and then I have all the tape. I'm gonna tape and like adhesive-y things. So I'm gonna give this big basket to tape. Now I'm taking a look at what I have left. I only have 2 bins left, but we use this clay all the time. And so I feel like clay has to have its own bin, but it's a big bin and it has space and it's only these 2 little things. So I've got these other miscellaneous things which are okay to go in with the clay because I have the space. So it's like clay and / miscellaneous, which leads me to glitter. And so here's what's happened. I've created categories for everything, but then I have all of these things left, these stickers. Oh, I used to want a scrapbook and I never did. It doesn't have a dedicated category for stickers. I could slide these to the side and sort of tuck the stickers in here, but if I'm being really honest with myself, I have not used these stickers in years. And they're just, I'm keeping them for the sake of keeping them, out of guilt. Every time I look at them, I'm like, I should scrapbook. So you know what? All of this is gonna go. And so in a matter of minutes, I have completely reorganized this drawer, made it functional, given it dedicated homes. I can come back another day and sort this a little bit more micro or gather other things from the house and add to it. But for now, this is organized. Okay, so that was fun. This is like my favorite part of organizing is like, putting things away, but I'm not gonna lie, it makes a mess. What you're gonna be left with is all of the things that didn't fit, didn't belong, you decided you didn't want anymore. So that's why it's important to have a bin for donations, things that you can donate, and a trash bag for trash. So you can quickly clean up what's left. Anything that you have that just you didn't want in this space, it doesn't belong in this space, now is also the time that you have to actually take that thing back and put it where it does belong, or put it where you would look for it first if it doesn't have a home. Just ask yourself, where would I look for this first? You are not done until you've done those things, until you've tidied up what's left. And I know that isn't fun, but it's all about completing the cycle when it comes to organization. So we're not leaving ourselves with a bigger mess, which is why it's really important that we start with just one drawer or one shelf or one small category of things. So we're not left with a huge mess. So we can complete that cycle, finish that, and move on to the next step without having a big mess. I've made you a printable that breaks these 5 steps down and hopefully makes it a little bit easier, but yeah, it does seem overwhelming. So if you're watch this video and you're like, okay, now I'm even more confused than before, you are not alone. Organizing is one of those things that really makes sense while you're doing it. I promise you, if you follow these steps, it's going to be like that light bulb moment. It's going to be something that you have to do in order to understand. So take things out, do a sort, dedicate a space, assign that home, have your sorting bins, whether it's cardboard boxes or you've got some different sizes from the dollar store, sort into these bins. Organize for your space, not your stuff. Let go of anything that's left that doesn't fit, or put things in other homes if it doesn't belong in that space. And of course, label your new homes when you're done so that you and everyone in your family knows where things go. I promise you, this is going to get so much easier. You just have to give it a try. Thank you guys so much. For those of you who have stayed to the end, I am not a teacher. I suck at teaching. I'm just going to say that. I suck at explaining things to you. I mean, you probably just watched this and you're just even more confused because the thing in my head is really hard to come out of my face and make it clear, but I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not so great at letting other people know. And this has been very apparent with my kids doing homeschooling. So my kids are learning from home, and Joe is usually the one that takes care of it. But the other day, he wasn't feeling well, so he laid down and he's like, can you help the kids with their schoolwork? So I kid you not, within 10 minutes, Milo's like, my computer's not working. And I went and looked and it really wasn't. It was like the mouse was moving all on its own and it was covered in pencil. And I was like, what's going on, dude? And he was like, well, it was bored, so I doodled on my pencil and then I tried to clean it and it wouldn't come off with my spit. So then I went and got a cleaner and I sprayed it all over the laptop and now nothing's working. And I was like, please, no, you didn't spray cleaner all over your laptop. And he did. It was bleach spray. Soaked it. So that MacBook's garbage now. I'm sure it'll be okay. We're trying to dry it out. I'm not sure. It's not working. But then I had to like help him set it up on his tablet, and I'm trying to like explain to him, and he's not getting it, and I'm not getting it, and nobody's getting it, and I'm panicking, and he's not listening, and it's just understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, and Joe has no problem doing this, but and then also trying to understand grade 3 math and trying to explain things and give him directions based on the things I'm hearing from his teacher, and everything's crazy, and I don't know where the passwords to anything are, and it was a freaking nightmare, and I ended up having like full meltdown, and I feel so much respect for all of you teachers out there, because holy doodle, not only can I not do this for one 8-year-old, but you have to do it for like 30 8-year-olds and online, and that's nuts. And so I'm just mad props. Also, I'm definitely respecting my husband a little bit more, because he just has a natural gift for teaching, for explaining things in a way that everyone can understand, for staying calm, and I'm over here like, look at something shiny, squirrel, 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 and nobody learns anything. And yet you still watch me. So I feel loved. Anyways, see you guys next time.